Yo, what's up, Chaos Nation? It's your boy, Chaos Hero, here again with another deck profile. Now, this deck profile, like I said, is going to be about Force of Will. It's going to be about my deck that I use is Malgus the Flame King. It's one of the 7 kings. If you haven't seen my other deck profile videos, they're on Periscope, unfortunately, due to some memory problems, so you can check it out on my channel. If you want to do a deck, see the deck profile about Fiora, I can do that. But let's get to that. Also, we're going to be doing the stone deck, which has nothing special. It's just a 10-card stone deck, just regular stones, nothing special, just that limited edition one and the other stones. Put that off to the side. But mostly we're going to be focusing on the rulers. There's nothing special about the stones, so I don't have anything about that. But as first, the ruler in the main deck. All right, for the ruler, we have Malgus. His J activation is cost of 2. He's a fire J resonator. He's a ruler. He's a 7 king. One of his abilities is you pay 2 mana. Then this card deals 200 damage to target opponent. So basically, this thing can automatically burn you while you're not in J activation. The J activation form, on the other hand, Malgus, the one who was charmed by the demon sword, which is Leviathan. They have a tie together. His ability, he comes out at 1,000 attack and 500 defense. One of his abilities is First Strike. Basically, while attacking this card, this card battles battle damage first. Deals battle damage first to blocking Resonator. It also says when this card enters your field, put the top card of your Magic Stone deck on the field, so it gives you a Magic Stone. On top of that, you pay 1 Fire Stone to banish a Magic Stone, or Resonator. This card deals 300 damage to target Resonator. So basically, when you pay, like, if you pay 1 and then you banish either a Resonator or a Magic Stone, you get to basically deal damage. So basically, it's damage dealing on top of damage. This is like basically a basic fire deck. It's a basic burn deck. His God Art is you pay 2 fire mana and 4 other manas unless you have his 2 regalias, which reduce the cost, which is every regalia for that matter, which is Leviathan. We'll get get into that in a minute. It says destroy target Resonator. This card gains literally X number of attack and 0 defense until the end of turn, where X is the attack of how many destroyed Resonators. So basically, I can X is the attack of the destroyed Resonator. Now, let's say it doesn't mean the original attack. It could be any amount of an attack. Like Gilda comes out at least off of 6 mana. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12 plus 8 is like, so that's 22. I think it's 21 or 22. And plus on top of that, it's added to Malgus' attack. So that's 32 or 31. So that's one of the good options and combos you can go to. You can only use this activation ability once per game. So now that the ruler's out of the way, let's get to the Regalia. Regalia is a 0 cost card. Basically gives you the opponent swiftness. The user swiftness. So basically, my J Resonator not only gets First Strike, but also Malgus gets swiftness. He also gets imperishable. He pays 2 less for his God Art. And also, I can also, it deals that match plus 20, plus 200 instead. So it says until the end of turn, J Rulers would deal, my J Ruler would also deal the damage that it normally deals plus 200. So it does an additional damage plus a burn damage while using this Regalia. Also, I can also discard another card called Leviathan the Demon Sword and produce 1 fire mana. It's just a simple basic ability, and I kind of actually like it, and that's the reason why I put it in my deck. Now for the rest of the main deck, you have one copy. I only add one copy of Magical Match or Magic Match. It's an addition. It says add a Resonator, gain swiftness and first strike. Banish this card. This card deals 200 damage to target J Resonator. So this is dealt to a J Resonator, not a Resonator specifically. I always clip that. One copy of Barrier of Flames. It is a 1 cost. Sorry, I forgot. It was just a 1 cost 5 mana. So it's a 2 cost mana, 1 mana, 1 regular, 1 other mana, or 1 other stone. My bad. It's an addition. It's a field edition actually. It's a field spell. It says if a normal spell you control would deal damage, it deals that much plus 200 instead as well. So that's a really good card. It's an extra burn damage card. Spell Chant, Burn to Cinder. It's a 2 cost instant card. This card deals 700 damage to target J Resonator. If it's a J Resonator, it loses Imperishable until the end of turn. If it is a Resonator and it would be put into the graveyard from a field this turn, remove it from play instead. So I have 2 copies of those to Burn a Cinder. Then I run 3 copies of Flash of the Demon Sword. The Demon Sword. It says Trigger. Trigger is basically like a face down trap card. So it says when a J Resonator you control attacks, target Resonator cannot block until the end of turn. If you control a J Resonator, this card deals damage equal to the attack of that Resonator. So basically, this is a lot of burn damage deck. You'll notice that. So you're gonna have to bring a burn heal if you get that reference, Gen 1 pocket monster. Then we have Flame King's Shout. It's a 3 cost, 2 fire stone, 1 random stone if you choose to. It's a spell chant. It's a normal spell. It says this card deals 400 damage to each Resonator your opponent controls. Then you must put a fire Resonator with total cost of 3 or less from your hand into your field. It gains swiftness until the end of turn. So basically, it's just basically a good search card to bring out a monster after you use the spell and deal damage. You can bring out a monster very easily without paying the cost, which is a good idea. Also, I also have some destruction cards. 4 copies of Demon Flame. What Demon Flame is a 1 cost instant, just like Burn the Cinders. It's kind of similar, but it doesn't have an added prolonged effect. Choose one target. It says choose this. Choose one. You can only choose 1 Resonator or J Resonator. I think it only targets. It only targets 1 Resonator. It says this card deals 500 damage to target Resonator or destroys target Resonator that was dealt damage this turn. So basically, if I deal damage to you and then I target this with along with that in a chain to that and adjacent to that, I can actually destroy a Resonator if it's dealt damage this turn. So that's a good thing. For search cards, I always keep at least 4 copies of Rugal Eggs. Rugal Eggs are a 1 cost weak monster. It's 2 defense. It doesn't have anything invested. Like I said, it's only a good search card. Basically, its effect is this card cannot attack. It's obvious because it doesn't have any. When this card is put into the graveyard from your hand, search your main deck for a fire Resonator, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle it. And I have 4 copies of those. It doesn't matter what level or what species it is. Then I have Whelp Drake, 4 copies of those. It's a 2 cost, 1 fire, 1 other mana. It's a dragon, and it has the ability Fly. This card can not be blocked. Cannot be blocked by J Resonators without Fly. So this thing cannot be blocked by J Resonator without Fly. So it can't be blocked by at all. It says when this card is put into your graveyard from your field, it deals 400 damage to target Resonator. So also it's a burn damage card. Then we get hey little squawkers, stop. Sorry about that. Those are my beebs. Then we have Salavis Clement. It's a 2-cost fire resonator. It has the ability to fly. It's a dragon. Its other ability is banish this card. You can pay 1 less to play judgment. To play judgment abilities of your ruler this turn. So basically, judgment abilities, from what I'm getting out of this, is not God's arts. Judgment abilities are basically the regular effect when it's in judgment mode. When it's a J ruler, actually I think it's judgment. So it's a judgment. Okay, so I think it's just this ability because it casts a judgment. So I think it just pays 1 less for its effect, or it's a J activation effect, or it's one effect that it basically deals 300 damage. So I don't have to pay a cost when I banish him. I actually keep 2 copies of that. I'm thinking about running 4 copies though. 2 copies of Drag, the Red Dragon. It's a dragon, like I said. It's a 5-cost. It comes 1200 attack and 1200 defense. This card cannot be blocked by J resonators without fly. You may pay 1 less cost to play this card for each resonator put into a graveyard from your field this turn. So it has to be on that turn, and I pay less. So if I use something to destroy all my monsters on my field, I could easily do that. I keep 1 copy for now of Gilda. He is a 6-cost dragon resonator. He's a fantasy dragon. He has fly and swiftness, and this basically deals damage to your opponent. It says this card cannot attack and play. This card can attack and play this ability on the same turn. The continuous effect is this card gains 200 attack and 0 defense for each fire resonators, fire magic stone you control. When this card is destroyed, you may banish 3 fire magic stones. If you do, put this card from your graveyard into the field. So basically, it resurrects itself. Then we keep 2 copies of Blazer, the Eater of Dimensions. Blazer, the Eater of Dimensions is also from the Bahamut series. It's a resonator, Wanderer Dragon. It has swiftness. It says you may play this card from your removed area. So when it's out of play, you can actually play this card from your out of play zone. It says if a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, remove it from the game instead. So basically, if this card, if a card would be put into the graveyard, you can remove this card from play instead. I don't think it's effect that affects me at all at some point, but it's a useful effect. Also, 4 copies of Spirit of Sirito. The Spirit of Sirito is a spirit card. It's Resonator. It's a 3-cost. Has 900 attack and 400 defense. It gains swiftness. And that is all it does. Snow White, the Valkyrie of Passion. Basically, this is part of the Passion series. It's a fairy tale creature. She gains swiftness and first strike. Whenever this card attacks, put a passion counter on it. Whenever this card attacks, it may deal 300 damage to target resonator for each passion counter on it. If it does, remove all passion counters from it. One copy of Guinevere, the Queen, the Jealous Queen. Her ability is kind of combined with the Knights of the Round, and it kind of goes with Snow White a little bit. It says, tap this card, banish a resonator, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Pay 1 fire mana, and then tap this card again. Target resonator you control gains 400 on 400 until the end of the turn. When it deals or is dealt damage this turn, banish it. So basically, I can tap this card, target a card, he ends up getting banished. Then I always run 2 copies of Mordred. Mordred is a fire resonator, 900 attack and 900 defense. He's a Knight of the Round Table. It says whenever this card attacks, you you may banish another Resonator. If you do, this card deals 1,000 damage to target Resonator. Then I have 4 copies of Hector, Damaris, the Exalt of Mad Demon, the Exalt of Mad Demons. Basically, she's a Knight of the Round. Her ability, she's 400 attack, 400 defense. Her ability is you may pay 1 less fire stone to play this card for if you control a Lancelot, the Knight of the Mad Demon. When this card enters your field, target Resonator gains 400 attack and 0 defense until the end of turn. So there's a lot of love for. I have 1 original copy of Lancelot, and I have 3 alternate copies of Translot, which is a woman. But both of all their abilities are the same. You will notice that I like to do alternate cards too. They're still the same. Resonator, it's a Knight of the Round. It has swiftness. It says as long as you choose a card to attack, you must choose this card if able. So he has to attack first. When this card attacks, if this card's attack is 1,000 or more, this card deals 700 damage to target Resonator off the rip. Pay 1 fire mana. This card gains 100 until the end of turn. So it's 6 and 7, and then on top of that, with Hector's ability, he gets a big, huge boost. But that's it for the Flame King deck. If you notice, there's a lot of burning and a lot of destruction in this deck. The only thing I don't like about this deck is it has little to none recovery and contingencies. There's rarely any field spells that are good and of good use to the Amalgam series, but it's a deck I love to use, and it's a deck that I enjoy to use. And you probably might be able to see it on this episode of Top Down Throwdown. I don't know. Maybe we'll probably do an episode where we're all doing Force of Will. Like I said, thank you for watching. Also, be sure to look out for the Satella Knights deck profile, and also Top Down Throwdowns between the Satella Knights versus the Shadals and the Yang Zings, probably. So be sure to look out for that on my channel on Periscope as well as YouTube on Khaos TV. This is your boy Khaos, and I appreciate it. Comment, like, and subscribe down below, and I really, really do appreciate your support. Love you guys.